Thank you so much for watching another episode on Martinique the Storyteller. I created this YouTube channel because I wanted to produce educational, inspiring, and intellectually stimulating shows that are easily accessible and free. I would love for you to be a supporter of this channel by donating, subscribing, and sharing these videos with others. To donate, please visit my GoFundMe page at www.gofundme.com. Just type in Martinique the Storyteller, all one word, in the search field box and donate any amount. The second way you can support my channel is by subscribing and clicking on the bell to receive notifications when I post new videos. Lastly, you can be a supporter of my channel by sharing these videos with friends, family members, and anyone else who you think may benefit from watching them. They can be shared on all social media and through email. Thank you again for your time, and I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you for taking time to watch the Martinique Show. Today I will be sharing the story of Shantei Gregg, a 35-year-old letter carrier. Shantei was born in Tennessee but was raised in Dayton, Ohio, and currently resides in Englewood, Ohio. She graduated from Meadowdale High School in 2000 and recently graduated from nursing school in February 2018 with her LPN diploma. To continue her education in the medical field, she will be starting her RN program at the end of April of 2018. I want to share Shantei's story because I'm interested in how she overcame tragedies and obstacles in her life to continue her path of achieving her goals as a nurse. This is her story. Thank you for taking time to talk to me today, Shantei.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, why are you willing to share your story with viewers today?
Just to let people know that it's possible to still achieve your dreams, even though I'm a little bit up there in age. But if there's something that you really want to go after, then go for it.
Oh, that's good, girl. You ain't up in age. I'm the same age. And you look great, by the way. Do you hear that a lot? I know you do.
Yes, thank you. I do.
But we'll tell you next time about her beauty secrets. So tell me a little bit about your upbringing and how it helped you to really just become the woman you are today.
I was raised by my mother. My father he is active in my life. He still is, but he was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. So he traveled to different places, and him and my mother were no longer together. So we decided to come to Ohio. That's because that's where my mother's family is at. Oh. So even though they were no longer together, he was still a big part of my life as well. And both of them are very big on education. So.
Oh, that's good. So because he was in the military still when you were living in Ohio, so did you just keep that communication open, or did he sometimes just come to Ohio to visit?
Both. Like he would call all the time, and back then we had rotary phones. So
yeah, I know.
You had to pay for long distance calls, so he would call me at least once a month because he was stationed in Japan at one time, and we would write letters, and he would also come when he wasn't being deployed somewhere.
Okay. So now, you're not the only child, correct? You have siblings.
No, I have, on my father's side, it's me and my sister, which is from my mother's marriage. And then my dad also has 2 more girls, which is from his current marriage. And on my mother's side, I have a baby brother.
Okay. So what number are you?
Yeah. I'm the first.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So just tell me a little bit about your experience growing up in Dayton, because I hope we have a lot of people that's not from Dayton as well that's watching this. So, because I'm trying to expand it, since it's going to be on YouTube.
Right.
But if you could just let us know a little bit more. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. Me and Shantei know each other from Middledale because we graduated from the same high school. So that's how we know each other.
Mighty Lions.
Huh?
I said Mighty Lions.
I know, go Lions. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, if you can tell us just about your experience growing up in Dayton.
Growing up here, I will say, is totally different from any place I've been to, because my mother was also military. So we did hop around from place to place. So at one point in time, I was actually with my father's family in New York while they were out doing their military thing.
Okay.
And it's fast paced. I will say Ohio is a little bit more conservative, little, compared to me growing up in New York and in Tennessee. Like Ohio is very, very mellow, if that's the right word to say. So I actually enjoy it here now. Back then I didn't, because I was so used to just doing stuff all the time. Yeah. So now it's like, if I was to go see my family in New York, I'm ready to come back to Ohio. Like, this is too much for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah. How did you stay out of trouble, just growing up in Dayton?
My mother was a very strict Christian woman. I wasn't allowed to do anything. So she put the fear of God in us, and the biggest thing growing up, especially in our generation, was don't basically lose your mother's trust. And so that was big for me, because if you lost the trust, it's like, oh my goodness, there's nothing left,
Yeah.
And so that's how she was. Like, I didn't want to hurt my mother. So yeah, I wasn't getting in any type of trouble. I've never been suspended from school or anything like that. I've never been arrested, because I was afraid of her, So that was my upbringing. We was at church at least 3 times a week, choir practice, youth stuff, church, all types of stuff. Like, she made sure that we stayed out of trouble.
Okay, that's good. How would you describe yourself as a teenager, though? Because I know that, those teenage years, we be trying to do stuff.
I tried to be a rebel, but she's a little bit more powerful than me. And I tried, but I was still able to have a good teenage life. Like, I don't know. I can't really complain about anything. There were times where we did struggle a little bit, because my mother was a single mother.
Okay.
So, but she made sure that me and my sister, my brother, kind of, had the basic necessities to get through, so.
But I thought, like, people in the military, they, earn a pretty decent income, right?
Yeah. I would have to say, growing up, my mother never taught us how to save, how to do, the right thing.
Okay.
So in my opinion, she wasn't the best when it comes to her funds. So even though she was making pretty good money,
yeah,
it wasn't being, shown to us in that sense. Like, and I will have to say, even for us, we were taught how to manage our money.
Okay.
And even I'm still learning at 35 years old how to manage my money. So yeah, it was a struggle when it came to that. Even up until her passing, it was a struggle with that. So
yeah. So now my goal is that I really want individuals that have like influence over high schoolers and even middle schoolers to really just motivate them and help them to see like how to become a nurse. And so what type of grades did you receive when you were in high school?
I did
Mighty Lions.
Right. I did enough just to pass. When I moved here from New York to Ohio, I will say Ohio, in my opinion, is a little bit behind. So when I started my senior year, I was only 16 years old, but I would get bored so quickly with the curriculum that we have that I would do not so smart things, to get in trouble. And I was bored, and because of that, I didn't get the grades that I should have got. I probably was a high C average when we graduated. And I know I could have done better, you know what I'm saying? But I was I just wanted this to be done and over with. So, yeah.
So how would you encourage somebody that is currently in high school that is experiencing the same situation that you just described? What would you tell them to do? Being able to see like how good grades and everything can influence your future. Like, what would you say to that student?
I would say push through it. It is huge now. Like the resources that these children have now, we didn't have growing up, and they can capitalize on so many things. I know, for example, my nephew, he only needs a 3.0 grade point average through high school, and he has a full ride to Ohio State in the program that he has at DECA. And it's like, really? Like, I wish that I had some type of motivation to keep going. And that's the thing, I didn't have any motivation. I just wanted to get done. Yeah. And so my thing is just keep up, keep motivating yourself, and even getting support from family and friends, because there's so much out there. Like, I just wish I could do it all over again. I do wish I could do it all over again, because it's easier now. And I don't think a lot of children realize that. Like, you have it so good, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, too, just to continue what you were saying, it's just a matter of, like, I'm just talking to, the high schooler. And I know, sometimes you're like, oh, I just can't wait to get out my house. I can't wait till high school is over, and maybe you are that type of student that doesn't feel challenged, in your classes. That's where you really have to just take that initiative to, just go down to your public library, just read as much as you can about, maybe a particular field that you're interested in. And then, too, if you see somebody working in the field that you're interested in, ask them if they can mentor you. Set a time limit of how long you would like this mentorship to be. So, for example, let's say that you did want to become a nurse, and maybe your cousin or somebody is a nurse, or, a neighbor or somebody like that. Ask them if you can ask them questions for maybe 30 minutes once every week. Let them know, what you're expecting of them. And then also give them how much time they will be needing for this type of mentorship. I mean, because I'm telling y'all, you 16 now, but before you know it, you're going to be in your 30s.
And I will say, even I had a mentor. Her name is Sandra. She was at my graduation, and she has been my mentor since she found out that I wanted to become a nurse. I've been wanting to become a nurse since I was a little girl. Like, really? every time someone asks me what I want to do when I want to grow up, I want to be a nurse. So it's like, this is something that I've been wanting to do for over 20 years. And Sandra, she's like a mother to me. She would motivate me, push me, even now. To this day, she was sitting right next to me at my graduation. So it's always great to have somebody in your corner, when it comes to your goals as well.
How did you meet her?
I met her at my church. And she's a nurse, and she has, at the time she had 8 kids.
You serious?
Yeah, right. She had 8 kids. And I was like, how the heck did you do it? And she's like, I just got to keep pushing forward. I was like, that's amazing to me, because, at that time I didn't have any children. Like, how did you do it with 8 children, And she's a strong woman. She's a very, very strong woman. And even now she has 2 more kids, so she has a total of 10 children. And yeah, she's still working as a nurse right now to this day. So, yeah.
Okay. That's good. Big ups to Cassandra. What is it?
Sandra.
Sandra. Oh, gave you like an extra CA
Yeah.
on that. But big ups to Sandra. Thank you so much for helping Shantei become the woman she is today. So when did you become a letter carrier?
I became a letter carrier November of 2009. And actually, it wasn't my goal to do so, but yeah, it was either I was actually in a nursing program at the time, and my
really?
my ex-husband didn't have a job, so he was at home with our children, and it was either finish nursing school, struggle a little bit more, or get some quick money, and so I chose to get quick money. So 8.5 years later, I'm still there.
Yeah, but I think that that's so good that you didn't give up on, you know, accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish. You said that were you in nursing school in 2009?
Yes.
So were you able to keep some of those credits from those courses?
No, and the only reason why I didn't is because the school I'm currently at now, the cutoff year was 7 years, and I was at 8.
Oh, so they'll keep your credits for 7 years.
Yes.
Oh, so did you ever? I mean, because did you just find that out about the 7 years, or did you already know about it?
No, like it was crazy because when I was actually continuing the program, the LPN program, like it was literally I was missing it by months when I was doing it. So I didn't know. I knew I was pushing it. So it was like, regardless about if they took my credits or not, I was going to take the classes anyway. But yeah, I literally was missing some of my classes, you know, to help me move forward by months. So I had to retake the class.
Oh. Do y'all hear that? This girl just keep pushing. She said, you know what? I'm not going to let nothing stop me from pursuing my goals. That is so good, because I would have been like, well, you know, maybe LPN is not for me right now. Being a nurse, we're going to stick to our letter carrying job. So now I know that you've been working there for over 8 years. And did you always start as a letter carrier, or did you just move your way up?
I always started as a letter carrier. The position I was in at the time, it was called a temporary employee. So we worked year to year. So my start date was November 21st of 2019. So the week before
2009. 2009?
Yeah, 2009.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And every year, right before my anniversary of my start date, they would have to give us a week off. And so I did that for 5 years. And then in 2014, I made regular, which is a full-time employee, which we get benefits and all that other stuff. So yeah.
But how were you? So it's kind of like you were contracted, right?
Yep.
So you received a contract every year.
Yep.
Were you ever nervous that they wasn't going to renew your contract?
Yes, because the rules that our contract at the time, we didn't get our contract renewed until 2013. And the way that the old contract was set up, you was on pins and needles every single year, because it's like if you were late, we wasn't really represented by our union.
Mm-hmm.
If you called off, they could let you go, and they didn't have to tell you why. So yeah, having a job like that and paranoid that you might not have a job the next day, it's nerve-wracking. So yeah.
So, but during that time, were you applying for other just regular permanent jobs?
No. At the time, our contract, if you came in as a temporary employee, you was making $22.15 an hour.
What?
So that's good money. That's why. Right. So that's why I never left. But when they redid our contract in 2013, I went from $22.15 to $16.25.
Wait. You telling me that as a contract worker, you was making 22 something, but then when you became permanent full-time, they dropped you down to 16?
Yes. No, they redid our contract, so we went from a TE, which is a temporary employee, to a CCA, which is a city carrier assistant. Okay. So we had got more coverage from our union, but they slashed our pay. So I went from $22.15 to $16.25.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was then.
Yeah.
Why are you even thinking about becoming a nurse?
Because it's always been something I wanted to do. Like
Uh-huh.
it's been my dream, my goal, my passion since I was a little girl. I
Mm.
don't want to be a letter carrier for the rest of my life. It's good money. It is good money, but um could you imagine being 50 years old walking in the snow, 2 degrees below zero, and yeah, I have my children's name tattooed on my shoulder. Sometimes I rub on their names because that's
Oh,
what keeps me going. And it's
yeah.
like it's never something I wanted to do. I did this just because my ex-husband did not have a job. That's the only reason why I did it.
Yeah.
So it's been good to me. It's been really good to me, but it's not something I wanted to do.
I understand. And I think that that's so important for people to realize. You have to do what you have to do, to
Hmm.
achieve your goals. And if it's working that job that, you may not have that passion for, um, it's paying your bills. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? It's
right.
providing a roof over your head. So you got to keep doing it and don't be discouraged. And I think that, like, sometimes I know that when I'm working a job that I don't particularly care for, and I have other things that I want to pursue, I know I start to have a bad attitude at that job um, that I'm working. And so, what keeps you what helps you to maintain a positive attitude at your current job?
I actually have a lot of support from my coworkers, and that's one of the things about my job is that they're very, very big on making sure that you're there in attendance and stuff like that. So honestly, a lot of things that I've been doing to achieve this goal, I would not have been able to do if I was not at the station that I'm at, because they have been looking out for me when it comes to me taking leave and stuff like that. Because if I was at any other station, I wouldn't be able to do this. There's a lot of letter carriers, believe it or not, that have degrees, but
Mm-hmm.
they just wasn't, happy with their degree. So they went into letter carrying, which is, crazy, but to each their own.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people, especially at my station, that has degrees, and they chose to be a letter carrier instead.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of support from people there because a lot of them have degrees, so
Yeah.
they know where I'm trying to get to in life when accomplishing my goals and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So I know that you said that this is something that you wanted to pursue, when you were a little girl. Did you express this, like when you were, said, this is it? Going to nursing school to get my LPN. What was their response? Were they supportive of you?
You talk about my coworkers or
Your friends and family.
oh, my friends and family. My significant other is the main reason why I did it, because he knew, how you had the conversation when you're dating and stuff like that, what you want to
Mm-hmm.
do. He knew that I wanted to be a nurse. So I had told him about the program because the program I'm in is an evening program, so it fit my schedule.
What
And he
you
said
call it, a what program?
the evening program.
Evening program. Okay.
Yeah. Um, and he told me, he's like, Shantei, if you start, I want you to finish. And I was like, okay. So it's like he put that. It's like I have to please him. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when he said that to me, I was like, oh my goodness, if I mess up, he's gonna be mad. And it's like it's not even like he's an abusive guy. He's just headstrong. He's supportive. I want you to do this. I want you to get done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like when I did it, it was just like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna do this, and it's not just for me, it's for you too, because I know you have my back. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what do you recommend? Like, what would you say to somebody that doesn't have that support though?
I When I started the post office, I didn't have that support, and I was married.
Mm-hmm.
So my ex-husband had me choose between the post office or nursing school, and it broke my heart because it's like I can do both, and he wouldn't let me.
Oh,
And
okay, okay.
yeah, and it I like even now I know that I can do it, and he would not let me. He said I had to be a wife, I had to be a mother. he wasn't supportive of my goals like my current mate is. Like, he was not supportive at all. So it broke my heart. So eventually, when we had went through the divorce process and everything, it was like I had put nursing school and everything on the back burner to try to get myself back together. Because, you know, coming from no support to somebody that fully supports, it's a big jump, you know. So yeah.
Were you able to, if you in a relationship that's no support and then you have somebody that's supportive, was it easy for you to appreciate that supportive guy?
I actually was a little bit hesitant at first, because it's like, okay, he supports me, but how much support do I have, you know?
Yeah.
But it was with everything. So a lot of times, honestly, when I was even at the beginning and in the middle, I was a little bit hesitant because I was expecting for him to flip, because that's all I knew, you know?
Yeah.
But he never flipped.
Oh, that's good for not flipping, sir.
Right. So yeah, so I was still hesitant. Like, I was expecting something bad to happen, and that was, you know, basically just because of what I had been through, and it wasn't fair to him. So even now, like, he was asking me, you know, when does your RN start? I still have his support, you know. He's like, just get through it and get done. Like, he's still big on that. So that was the biggest thing for me, because it's like I was married for 7 years. I was programmed.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like going from that to this. It's like, whoa, what I've been missing in life, you know. So yeah, it changed.
Yeah. And we are no way saying, like, if you in a marriage and your boo don't support you, we're not saying no get divorced. We don't condone that.
Right.
But I just say, you know, ask God to change that individual's heart, you know, to make them more accepting of the desires and dreams that you have professionally. And, you know, just don't be the type of person that's always bugging the person. Well, you knew I wanted to do such and such. And, you know, you can put that in a man's voice also. But, but you know, just ask God to really just change that individual's heart, you know. And, you know, just pray that it'll happen, you know, for you. But I think that's so sad, you know, that you had to put your desires and dreams on the back burner, you know, for that.
And that's the thing, even with him, he actually went to school while I was working at the post office, because I made him go.
Okay.
But it was just, I don't know. And that is not the reason why we got divorced.
Yeah.
It was other factors.
Right.
But yeah, he actually went to school right before we separated, and he got his HVAC certificate or whatever. So he has his own business and everything now.
Oh, that's
but it was
good.
like, but it was like, you know, I had to push him, you know, to do that, but I didn't get that same pushback, you know. So yeah.
Right. So now I know that you mentioned that your mom passed away. How did you handle like that tragedy because you were still in nursing school, right? You were still pursuing to get your LP.
No, I was no. My mom passed away in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did she really just encourage you to like pursue your dreams?
My mom wanted me to go back to school, and at the time, since I was going through the divorce and everything, it was really not my my thing to do at the time, because my mom was fighting cancer. So as much as the things that she was going through, I literally set everything aside to make sure that she was okay.
Okay.
And that was one of the things too, like just finding out what was going on with her. That was fascinating to me and stuff like that. So it was like I was thinking about it, but it was like it wasn't about me. It was more so about her. She found out she had cancer right after I gave birth to my daughter. So 2005, they gave her 12 years to live, and she made it to 9. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what were there any other challenges that you had to, overcome in pursuing your LPN diploma?
Um, the biggest thing, honestly, was probably money. The program that I'm in is like a technical school,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't get much public funding. So basically, I had to use loans and stuff, and I still had to pay a little bit of money out of pocket.
Okay.
So that was probably the biggest issue, was just making sure I had the funds. So it was like sometimes, yeah, we were really struggling, asking his parents, can you get us some, feed us some food, can you make us a meal? Because it was low. It was low for a second. So
So, okay, so in 2018, wait, is that right? 2018, you got your LPN diploma, right?
hmm
Okay. No, February of
hmm
2018, you got your LPN diploma. So, how
hmm
much loans did you have to take out for that program?
um, the program was $17,000. I want to say the grants that I used probably was like a little over 5,000, and everything else was in loans. So about $12,000 in loans so far.
And so, if you can remember, how much did you have to pay out of pocket then?
Oh, it was only $200.
Okay. So, with the type of grants and loans with grants, you don't have to pay anything back.
Right.
But with the loans, do you have to only pay those back when you complete something, or do you have to start paying them now?
No, they still have me in deferment because I'm still technically in school. So once I'm completely done with school, then I will have to eventually pay those back. I actually tried to pay them, and they told me I didn't have to, because I tried to, and they sent me a letter and told me I didn't have to. So I was like, okay, I tried.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So now I know that before we started recording, you were saying that technically you're a PN, correct?
Yes, a practical nurse.
Okay. So how do you become licensed then?
After um, I started the LPN program January of 2017.
Okay.
We have you go through all the classes, and we have something called an exit exam.
Mm-hmm.
And when I took the exit exam the first time, which was in November, I missed it by 17 points. I needed to get an 850. I got an 833. So the second time I took it, I got an 838. So then I had to take the class all over again.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, so after I took the class, this last time I actually got an 864. So I graduated from school, but that's not the end of it. I have to do the NCLEX, which is basically the Ohio. This the big test of all tests that every nurse that graduates has to take.
Okay.
So when I pass that, I have to pay $75 to get licensed in the state of Ohio. So after I'm done, I'm not done. I have to still take the NCLEX. So I'm actually waiting to get my authorization to test to take the NCLEX right now.
Oh, okay. So how did you stay encouraged? Like once you failed those two tests, then?
My daughter,
And how old is she?
she's 12.
Okay.
And so everybody knew that was a big test. And when I tell you that's probably the hardest test I've ever taken in my life, it was terrible.
Okay.
My daughter had texted me, and she was like, "Mom, did you pass?" And I said, "No, baby, I didn't."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "It's okay, Mom. You got it next time. Like, you have it." And I was like, "Okay," and I actually still have it saved in my phone and everything. That's what she said to me. So it's like my children kept me encouraged. Like everybody that was in my corner still kept me encouraged in spite of me having to take this test 3 times. And the third time was a charm. So yeah, it was tough, but that test is terrible.
You work for that grade. You
Yes,
work
I
for
did.
that pass, for that P.
Right.
So do they say you have to wait so many months before you can take the test again?
No, we actually, well, the program that I'm in, you had to take the class again. So technically, I was supposed to graduate LPN school November of last year. And since I didn't pass, I had to take the class all over again, which was the one class, which is the exit exam. And so that was another 12 weeks. And then we get two more chances to take the test. And I passed it the first time, so I didn't have to take it the second time.
Oh, so that means you had to pay for the class again, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have the same professor or teacher?
Yes. Yep.
I would have blamed them. I'm like, look, you didn't teach me. You did not teach me this stuff correctly.
Right.
I want a new teacher. But so now, okay, when you take your next test, correct, you'll be a LPN. When is that test?
I have to get a background check and everything because they're very strict about who they let as nurses. Mm-hmm. And so that's another thing that's holding me up right now is they sent me a letter saying my background check that I got for nursing school, it's over a year old, so I have to get another background check. So that's what I'm waiting on right now.
Okay. So now do you just go online and you see what dates are available and then that's when you just select what date you want to go?
After they give me the authorization to test.
Okay.
So yeah, I have to wait on the authorization to test.
Okay. So then we saying you passed that test. So right. Then you're going to go into the nursing program April 2018, correct? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. How much is tuition for that program?
Since the program is called 1+1, since I've already done my requirements for LPN, my RN is just a tad bit cheaper. Mm-hmm. But the program I think is normally $26,000 for somebody else, but for me I want to say it's like 24.
Okay.
So yeah.
And so how are you going to pay for that one?
I have grants, I have loans, and then I applied for 3 scholarships that my union actually gave to me to apply for.
Really?
And yeah. Like when I tell you my job is fully supporting me, it's amazing now. But yeah, my union gave me 3 scholarships. One is for $5,000, one is for $1,000, and one is for $500. So I believe after everything is said and done, if I get these scholarships, I'm going to say that I won't have to pay anything out of pocket.
That is so good. So now, do you feel like you really have to put some work in to find these grants and things, right?
Yeah, because even when it came to the LPN program, even though I had to pay only $200 out of pocket, it was still a struggle, staying afloat, because I know community colleges and stuff like that, they give, some of the grant money back. I don't get that back. So it's like I'm literally working, to try to stay afloat while I'm going to school. And then now with these scholarships and grants, I'll be a little better than what I was last year, and I know what to do and what not to do as well. So,
right.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
The grants I didn't know were available until somebody presented them to me. Because I was trying to find stuff and I was Googling and I literally couldn't find anything. And one of my friends, his name is Aaron, he's in the military. He told me that his wife applies for different stuff because she was in school. So he sent me a couple of links and I clicked on it and I was like, oh, this is for me, and I actually applied for that one last week. And so I'm waiting to hear the results back from that one. And my other 2 for my union, my local union, is not due until April 30th. So I still have a little bit of time for that.
Oh, okay. So now, don't they usually supply some type of counselors that can help you find different scholarships and grants, or no?
The school that I'm at is more so geared for low income. I'm not low income, so I don't get that love. And I'm actually glad that they have a program like this for women or men, because we do have men in the program that need help, because it's there. Like, one of my close classmates, all her stuff was covered. So it was like, but for somebody like me, this is a great convenience for me because it's an evening program, but it's not for somebody that makes what I make.
Okay. Well, you shouldn't make so much, Shantei. So what does your full-time schedule and your LPN classes and being a mother of 3 and in a relationship, what does your week look like?
Oh,
I'm surprised you didn't fall asleep right now.
I'll use one of my quarters from last I'll use one of my quarters from last year. My Monday I would go to work from 7:30 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
I will go to school from 4:30 to 8:30, depending.
Mm-hmm.
I will go pick up the kids. They will already be fed because his family is amazing.
So the kids, okay, so the kids are at his
home.
family. The kids are at his family, and then you go to their house to pick up the kids around, like, let's say about 8:45 p.m.?
About close to 9.
Okay.
I might sit over there for a minute, eat some food,
Okay.
grab all the kids, they get their showers, and we're all in the bed. And that will be basically my day. My boyfriend works third shift, so in the morning I drop off our baby. He will drop off my middle child at school. He goes back to sleep. I might drop my daughter off at school. All of them are picked up by his family while I'm out doing, my job or working at school. So
Mm-hmm.
when I tell you the support I have is amazing, because not only is they're helping with, my baby boy, but they're helping with my older 2 children, which, aren't theirs, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't have to do this, but they're doing it to support me, which is amazing.
Right. Yeah, that's such a blessing. What time were you going to bed though?
Depending on if I had any homework or if I had anything to do with school, probably between, if I'm in bed by 10, that's a good night.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, 11:30, 12 o'clock, easy. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you had to be at, what time were you waking up?
I have to wake up between 6 and 6:15. If I got 5 or 6 hours of sleep, that was a good night. So, yeah, that was it.
Did you have to train yourself to only sleep 5 to 6 hours though?
Yeah. To accomplish my goals, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It became a habit. Even now, I'm not in school. I've been out of school since the beginning of February. I still, even today is Sunday, I still got up at 6 o'clock this morning,
Okay.
So it's yeah.
Okay. So how much does LPNs make, you think?
When I was looking into it, I know starting pay for most LPNs is it depends on what you're going into.
Mm-hmm.
Hospitals are starting to hire them again, so the starting pay may be $16 an hour.
Okay.
A nurse, a school nurse, they probably make like 13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but like if you want to work third shift, most of them are starting off about between 18 and $20 an hour.
Okay. So do you have to go to school first to become an LPN and then become a nurse, or can you just go straight into nursing school? Can you do that?
No, yeah, you can't. You can't go into Like, you can't go and say, hey, I want to be a nurse at a job, because they'll look at you like, yeah, you need your license. Have a good day.
Okay.
So when I started, one of the requirements is becoming an aide, which is you have to have your certificate as a nursing assistant.
Okay.
When I first started the post office, that's actually what I was doing. I was a nursing assistant. So I already had my certificate saying that I was a nursing assistant. So that was one of the things I didn't have to pay for in order to start the nursing program.
Okay. So now, did it ever cross your mind to go right into being an LPN and no longer work as a carrier?
I'm spoiled.
Uh-huh.
I'm used to making what I make now. So if I was to go as an LPN, it would probably be a little bit of a pay cut for me.
Right.
And seeing that I have a daughter that's playing softball, a son that wants to play football, and a 2-year-old, it's just something I can't do right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably wouldn't go into nursing, like full-time nursing, until I get my RN. So that's my goal, is to get my bachelor's in RN. So yeah.
Okay. So now let's say that somebody didn't have kids and those financial responsibilities. Would you recommend that they quit their job? Let's say they still making as much as you make.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend that they go into that, start working as an LPN just to get that experience? What would you recommend?
Yes, I would. There was actually one of the girls that was in our class. We call her Little Baby. She was 18 years old, fresh out of high school. Mm-hmm. She graduated and got her diploma. She did it right. She still lived with her mom. Her mom took care of her, and that's the biggest thing. Is in my opinion, I feel like our generation, our parents kind of tried to push us out a little bit, mm-hmm. To grow up on our own and stuff like that. I even told my daughter, when you're done with high school, I'm not kicking you out. I want you to get yourself together first before mm-hmm. you're ready to go. And I think as a lot of us wasn't ready to be adults. I was 17 when I graduated high school. I wasn't ready to be an adult, So when I moved out, I was 19. I wasn't ready, But it's like the financial burdens that I had living with my mom, like me being, my first job, I was 15 years old. And it's like, I didn't get to save that money because I had to help my mom and stuff like that. And to me, that's too much for a child. Mm-hmm. Be a kid, do what you got to do. And then when you're ready, then go. And that's my advice to any person that's trying to pursue any type of degree. Don't grow up, Don't grow up. If you can stay with your parents, stay with your parents. Mm-hmm. Do what you have to do and then go. I think people want to grow up so fast, and you don't have to. When my mom passed, I was living with her. I had moved back in with her to, take care of her. Okay. But it felt great not having any financial responsibilities at that time either. And I was at the post office, so I was able to save money. And when my mom passed, I had, money to buy my house, But it's like, I don't think I'll be able to do that if I was living out on my own. You know what mm-hmm. I'm saying? So stay a kid. Just stay a kid. If your parents are there, yeah, listen to your parents, man. Stay a kid. That's all I can say.
Yeah. But what type of RN do you like? They work in different departments, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So yes. What department do you want to work in?
Okay, my goal is to finish this RN. I would like to get my bachelor's from either the University of Cincinnati or Ohio University. Mm-hmm. And I would like to be either a critical care nurse or ER nurse or somewhere in that field. So okay. Yeah, I would like to work in the ER.
So you're going to be taking, because if you guys don't know this, Shantei lives in Inglewood, and that's not really close to Cincinnati or Columbus. where those two schools are that she just mentioned. Are you taking all your courses online? Like, how does that work?
UC actually has an accelerated program where if everything goes well, I will be able to get my bachelor's in 9 months, which
Okay.
is amazing. So,
But will you ever have to go to
I believe
UC?
I believe most of the classes are online, but we will have to go to some clinical sites because that is part of a requirement. Any nursing program you do, you have to have clinical hours. So
Right.
yeah.
But you have to do them there. You couldn't like do them at a location closer to where you live.
It would all depend on what they told me.
Okay. Are you gonna ask them?
Yeah. Yeah. When that time comes, like I gotta hop this fence first before
Yeah, I'm trying to make you hop everything
right.
in this one sitting. So do you want to stay in Dayton once you become an RN?
Depending on where the wind blows, but I would like to go into Army Medical, which is AKA AMED.
Okay.
And I would like to become an Army nurse. So my goal is to stay probably somewhere by Wright Pat.
Okay.
So I don't really have a desire to leave here. But if they have me go, then I'll go. So,
yeah. So I know that you were saying that if you became AMED, is that what they say again?
It's called Army Medical or AMED.
Okay, if you become an Army Medical, you were saying that they pay for your loans?
Yes. They will pay for up to $30,000 of my loans. And they would also, for emergency nurse, they would give me a $30,000 sign-on bonus.
I'm like speechless.
Yeah.
So that is so good. So do you feel like because your parents were military, that has any type of influence of why you want to go into the military?
Yes, but my father didn't give me his blessing.
Okay.
It's a big thing when it comes to women going into the military. My father was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. My mom was in the Navy for 6. I actually wanted to go to the military when I got out of school, and my father wouldn't let me.
Okay.
So even now, when me doing this, if everything goes well, I'm not going to tell him until I do it. So yeah, I'm going to tell him after the fact. He's going to be a little bit upset, but he will be supportive. He just was he's very, very, very big on education. I'm a nurse. My sister has a degree in respiratory therapy. My sister Jasmine is a teacher. She has her degree in education, early childhood education, with a minor in Japanese education.
Wow.
And I have a baby sister. Yeah, I have a baby sister who actually got a full ride scholarship to an art school in Tennessee. So when I tell you he's very big on education, he did not want any of his girls going into the military. So yeah, this is going to be a surprise to him.
But I mean, I don't want this to sound bad, but like, why do you care if he, wants you to do it or not? Because I mean, obviously you're not stopping and not going to do it. But like, I'm like, well, Dad, this is what I want to do.
Because since it's all girls, we're all daddy's girls to an extent. And it's just something about that presence of a authoritative figure, which is my dad. He just has that presence about him. So it's like, even when I had talked to him about it, I tried to do it again when my daughter was not even a year old yet, and he went off on me. He's like really, really big on none of us going into the military. So I think if I was to explain everything to him after I do everything, he'll be mad, but not as mad. But it's just, I love my dad, and that's like that was like the thing, you had to get your blessing from your dad, when it came to the military, because women have it more rough in the military than men do. So,
Okay.
and I know he's seen a lot in his 20 years. So he just didn't want any of us to go through, what he's seen other women go through. It's hard for a woman. And I would say now I would think it's a little bit easier, but even my best friend, Quentin Scott,
Oh, hey, Quentin.
he wouldn't. Yeah. He's actually the one that told me about Army Medical, because he's been in the military for 16 years, and every time I wanted to join, he would tell me no. Like, it's just that thing. So he is the reason why I wanted to pursue Army Medical. So I want to do something that has something to do with the military. So if I got this approval from Quentin, then I'm sure that I'll get it from my dad too. So,
But I guess, like, what's the attraction though? Like, why do you want to do it? I understand you enjoy the fast pace, but you can get that at a hospital.
It's just growing up, going from base to base, it just did something to me. I love that. Even the base, or Right Pat, they had military housing when I used to deliver mail at Beaver Creek, and I just love the atmosphere. So it's a totally different atmosphere, people that's going to be here a couple months and then they're just going somewhere else. Meeting people that was just friendly, all races, it was just something for me. I enjoyed the military life. I love being a military brat, and I wanted to do that too. And my mom was okay with it, but my dad was like, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But so I'm not confused. Although you will be a nurse in the military, you wouldn't be doing all that moving around, correct?
No. Unless I would, for some strange reason, get deployed, I will probably never get deployed. My best friend Q has been in the military for 16 years. He's never been deployed. His position, he is a reservist. So basically, they're the last people he would get to. I mean, he's the last person they would get to.
Okay.
And so I will be a reservist as well. So, like I said, for some strange reason, I get deployed is because something really bad has happened to the point where they needed me. So, yeah.
So you really just like the type of people that you meet in the military.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does a military nurse make? Like, what do you think, how much do they make?
Even if I wasn't to go military, me being in the government, if I was to go somewhere like the VA Medical Center, or even at Right Pat, but as a civilian and not in the military, they start off at $90,000. So,
what?
Yeah. So I'll be okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, remember me, okay, Shantei?
But yeah, that's the craziest thing. Like, the LPNs at the VA start off at $16 an hour, but the RNs start off at $90,000 a year. So it's like, I'll do another year of school. That's fine.
I know that's right. I would too, girl. But if you are a military nurse, do you have to do boot camp and all that stuff?
No, they since I will have a degree, I will be an officer. So they have boot camps for officers, but it's not as tedious and strenuous as somebody going in as an enlisted officer. So yeah, it's not the same thing. I wouldn't get, have to go through all the stress or whatever. I will have a degree, so I will have just a little bit more respect, so that's it.
So what do you feel like are the pros of being a nurse? Like two pros.
The two pros: helping people and just learning. I feel like as a nurse, you would learn something different every single day, so, and I like stuff like that. So, yeah.
So you don't like the same old day over and over. I like that because I know I'm going to become a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think would be the cons to becoming a nurse?
that somebody's life is in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a little stressful for somebody. But knowing that, somebody's life might depend on if you do it right or not, it's a lot of, that's something big to deal with. And I would say probably not spending as much time with my family, depending on my schedule and stuff like that. Because I know even with my sister, she's in the health field. She works sometimes, I think they call 4/12s. So
Okay.
4 days straight, she's working 12-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's also on call too. So it's like she might work 7 days, So I think that's one of the cons is, having to basically put my family aside a little bit to pursue my dream.
Okay. So we might have people that that's watching this that maybe they do want to become a letter carrier. What do you think are the pros of being a letter carrier?
The pros of being a letter carrier is you have a career. Like once you become hired at the post office, you stick it out. You have a career, and they have great benefits. You make good money, and you don't have to have a degree to have that. And I know there's some people out there that having a degree is not for them. The post office is a great place to work. Like you do not have a degree, and I make more than some people that have degrees. It's just that's one of those things. But yeah, it's good pay. It's a career, and you have good benefits.
Do you feel it's easy? Go ahead. What was the last thing you said?
You lose weight and you get paid for it too.
Yeah, you stay healthy, running from dogs and stuff. What do you feel like are the cons of being a carrier, just in your experience? Because I know y'all have to be out there, rain, sleet, snow, everything.
Yeah, rain, sleet, or snow, the mail must go. That's our motto. Mm-hmm. So, working, sometimes you work late hours, sometimes anything can happen. So say I'm supposed to get off at 4:00. If somebody gets sick, somebody gets bit by a dog, we have to cover that mail. Oh. So I can go from having a 4:00 day to having a 7:00 day.
Oh, okay.
So it's like it has to get covered. That's me being a regular. I don't have I don't go through some of the inconveniences that the new hires start off with. They work Sunday. They have Sunday Amazon. I don't have to work Sunday Amazon because they would have to pay me a lot more than what they would pay the new hires. So you have to work Sunday. You have to work long hours. And if you get done early, unfortunately, if somebody needs help, they're going to send you back out. Okay. And so that's the unfortunate things about being there, because you got to do what you got to do until you get to where I'm at, basically.
So with this, honestly, because we don't receive mail on Sunday, I always thought you guys didn't work on Sundays, but that's not true.
Yeah, the only thing that they do on Sundays is Sunday Amazon. So they deliver packages, and that's it.
And we talking about Amazon, the company.
Yes.
Thanks, Amazon. So let me ask you this: where do you want to be professionally in the next year?
November of 2019, I would like to be in my field.
Okay, so you'll be in your field. How many months would you be in your field, though? Like, would you be in your field like maybe 1 year, or I guess not 1 year, but some months?
Yeah, if everything goes well with me going through school and passing my exit exam, passing my NCLEX, hopefully everything will be done. Me graduate, I should be done next year by June. I hope to pass my NCLEX and all that stuff by August, September. So I hope to be, in my field probably a couple months, like you said. So by November, my goal is November.
So we saying November 2019, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is it easy to get a job as a nurse, though? Like, once you have all your credentials, like, how easy is it, you think?
The one great thing for me is that, like I said, sometimes it pays to know people. My mother, up until she passed away, worked at the VA Medical Center for almost 20 years.
Okay.
So they know who I am. I have a job, it will be easy for me to go right into my field,
Okay.
So.
That's good. And, for everybody that's just watching this, I think, like, one of the things that Shantei is really saying, like, tell people what you want, when you meet them, as well as also just, just keep a positive attitude when you do meet these people, because you don't know when you'll need something from these individuals. Like, me and Shantei are Facebook friends, but I haven't talked to Shantei since, like, I graduated in 2001. And, I needed her, and she just willingly was like, sure, I would love to do, the interview and everything. So you just never know when you'll need somebody. It's not saying, like, to use anybody, but you don't want to be burning your bridges with, people and everything. Because, like they always say, you never know who's going to be your boss in the future and things like that. So where do you see yourself in 5 years as a nurse, as an RN?
More established and not as stressed, going through school, paying off them loans and stuff like that. I hope to be in a better spot than what I am now. And not saying that anything is bad right now. It's just, you gotta go through the storm in order to see the rainbow. Yeah. So that I feel like right now I'm kind of stagnant, because I was like, I'm just ready to go. But it's like everything is going according to plan right now. So hopefully in 5 years I can look back and be like, it was worth it, So
Yeah. And then I think it's going to be so cool, like, that you'll be able to go back and look at this interview and look and see where you was beforehand. But just knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself at 16?
Why? Like, quit being silly and just get it done. I just thinking about it, I know everything happens for a reason, and I know that if I would have done it right, then I probably wouldn't have my children. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the stuff I think about. Everything happens for a reason. But if I was to tell myself at 16, like, just get it done, get it over with, do what you have to do, do your homework, stop playing around, like, get an A, he is not, like, quit playing, like, that's what I would tell myself, quit playing,
Yeah. That's good. That's so good. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Shantei, for just being so transparent and really just sharing your story of how you really just pushed through the good and bad times to pursue your dream of becoming a nurse. And I just want to also thank you guys for just taking time to watch another episode on the Martinique show. Please just share this video with anyone that you know who wants to pursue becoming a nurse. Also share this video with individuals that, maybe they just struggling right now to continue what they want to continue or pursue what they want to pursue. Because like you heard, I mean, Shantei had to take like the test like 2 times and things like that, but she is still pushing on. She's like, ain't nothing gonna stop me. I got $75. Yes, I will take this again. But just share this with individuals that you feel have some type of influence over teenagers or even college students, things like that, just so they can have a better understanding of what to expect when they're pursuing this type of career. Thank you again for your time, Shantei. Thank you again all for watching, and again, be blessed and stay up. If you would like to create a video journal of your life or for a loved one, Please call or text Martinique's Video Creations at 202-288-4467. Don't forget to donate, share, and subscribe.